Hi everyone! I hope you're enjoying the party so far. I got my handy little helper case in here. We're going to show you some books. Usborne has thousands of books and I have hundreds and hundreds of books, so it was really hard to pick which ones to show you, but hopefully I've picked some good ones. So I'm going to get started with Touchy Feely Animals book. So this book is great. It has nice bold pictures, short little descriptive words of what the picture is, and then of course there's a touchy-feely texture on every page. So these are great. It's about the size of my hand, nice and perfect for little hands to hold. Are You There, Little Fox? This is part of a new series. There's also Little Bunny and Little Elephant. So there's finger trails in it, there's peepholes, and it's just the cutest little story about a mother fox who's looking for her baby, and then she keeps thinking that she sees him. Oh, there's his tail, but then it turns out, oh, that's a squirrel. So it's just very cute little stories. We like these ones. Usborne's most popular series is That's Not My series. So this unicorn one was actually their 50th That's Not My book in the series. So I think there's about 52 now. But this one was their anniversary one. And it's very sparkly. So on every page...
I'm going to say the names.
Okay, on every page there's a different texture to feel. And actually, there's a little white mouse on every page to find too. So this one is That's Not My Unicorn. But again, there's like 52 in that series. So there's lots to look at. The Slide and Seed series is one of my most favorites. I love that there's something interactive on every page and how bright and colorful the pictures are. So there's the slides and there's just nice thick board pages. And there's a few different ones in this series. I think there's about 6 of them. Then there's the playbooks.
Say the names.
Then there's the playbook series. So this is the word playbook series, and then there's just the touchy-feely series. So I'll show you a couple from both. This one is a brand new one. I think it was brand new last month. So what I like about this one is that it has all of these words and pictures on this side of the page, and then you have to find them on this side. So there's different ones in this series where they're shopping or they're at the farm, and then so it's kind of like matching. So for example, here they are at the beach. Well, that's not really a very good example of the matching. But here, so if you say there's the giraffe's neck, and then you got to find it in this picture. On here, there's a nice finger trail to follow. Again, just nice, bright, beautiful illustrations. And then in the touchy-feely ones, there's so many different ones in the series, but there's flaps. There's finger trails. There's peepholes. Just lots of different textures.
And there's squashy things.
There's squashies, yep. This is another new series that Usborne has. It's the baby book series. Who's wearing a hat? Is it the orange cat? So there's just questions on every page, and then your kids can answer them. So who's up on the wall? And then they have to figure it out. So it's like a spot it game for babies or toddlers. Who's chasing a ball? And they got to find it. These pages are really shiny and glossy too. So there's 3 books out in this series already. The 199 series is one of my son's favorites. I think we have a whole pile of them.
I love the pop-ups.
There's nature, there's flags, there's animals, there's sea creatures, there's zoo animals, there's food, there's all sorts of ones. What we like to do with this one is go on nature hunts and see what we can find outside. So if you make like a little checklist, but we also like to use this book to play I Spy. So if I say, I spy a deer, can you find it? Can you find the deer? Good. Now you say one.
I spy with my eyes. Find a tree boa. Do you see it?
I do. There it is. So that's what we like to do with these ones. We also have a new love for these pop-up books. Look it up. So there's pop-up dinosaurs. We have pop-up jungle. We have pop-up garden.
And haunted house.
And we just got, oh, it's over there. We just got pop-up haunted house. This is another great one, the playbooks that are sound books. So there's lots of touchy-feely textures. There's lots of finger trails. There's lots of flaps.
And there's lots of buttons.
And there's lots of buttons. And this one's all nature themed. Then we have the other noisy books. This is one of Usborne's most popular, top-selling books. It's all about farting, which sounds ridiculous, but it's very funny. It's all about this little bear who's walking through the forest with his dad, and his dad farts, and he's very embarrassed, and he's like, I would never do that. And then every little creature that he meets along the way lets out a fart, and then in the end, little bear, who's very embarrassed, and saying that he would never do that, he lets out the biggest one of all. So it's very, very funny. All kids love it. There's tons of different noisy books. You can go back through the custom album that I showed you and go click on it to find some more.
And Mom.
And yes, dear.
The pop-up books are my favorite books.
I know. So this one's really fun too. My First Keyboard. So it has lots of really simple songs that you can just play on the keys. And I see my batteries are running low, which I should mention, all of our noisy books, you can buy the replacement batteries at the Dollarama. They're just the little buttons. Okay, so my most favorite Usborne series of all is the Peep Insides. So there's castle, garden, nighttime, space, tree, sea, jungle, dinosaur, farm, zoo, animal homes. I had a really hard time picking which one to put down in my pile, but this one's one of my favorites. So this is one of Usborne's very first information series. And there's lots of learning, but the illustrations are so fun. So like peep inside this animal's home. And you get to see where all the different animals live. You get to learn about composting and, well, that's in the garden one, but they're just fun. These are books that we will read over and over and over again. Inside that series, there's also Peep Inside a Fairy Tale. So now they have Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, what other ones? Beauty and the Beast.
And also.
And there's one more, but I can't remember.
There's one book.
But they're beautiful. So every page, see, they're all laser cut, and every page kind of builds onto the scene of the next one. These ones are just beautiful.
And also, there's just this book called My Book of Green. So there's lots of green things.
But that's the library book, and it's not an Usborne book. We just got it today, though, so he's excited about it. My very first book of things to spot. There's 3 different books in this series, and I can't remember which one's in stock and which one's not, but they're all very much the same. So basically, just tons and tons. Like, this book is huge, full of pages, teaching your children different concepts. Longest, shortest, tallest, different colors. And they just have to spot it throughout the pictures. So, which van is delivering the mail? And then they have to find it. Where is the big red bus? So you can ask the questions that are given. You can just make up your own questions. So this is a really great series. Then there's this first word book. Again, lots of different ones in this series too. Essentially, it's just lots of pictures. There's 250 words that you can just point to and say what they are. And this one's all farm themed. Then there's the Lift the Flap series. There's a whole bunch in this series too, teaching all different concepts, color, shapes, opposites, first words. So it's all flaps. So underneath each of the flap, you will find the word. This one's kind of like a game. Who goes snap, snap in the red wagon? So then you got to find the red wagon, and it's what's it? What is it?
A crocodile.
A crocodile. So it's a really fun book. The puzzles are some of my most favorites. If you look way up on my shelf, I have like at least 8 puzzles. Usborne has the best ones. So they're kind of like a picture puzzle. They have a picture puzzle book in it that you can do the spotting. Actually, the first page in the book is the scene from the puzzle, so that makes it fun. The pieces are nice and thick and sturdy. I always compare them to like a Melissa and Doug puzzle because the pieces are so great. Okay, here's another one. The Nursery Rhyme Picture Book. So it has nice little...
I don't always want to get to order a picture book.
So it has nice little tabs.
I always order a sticker book.
Yes, you love sticker books. Mole in a Hole, this is one of our phonics readers. We love the phonics books. The illustrations are super fun, and the stories are always great. So there's tons and tons of Phonics readers, I'll show you the size difference. So this is the size difference between a phonics reader and an actual picture book. And this Town Mouse and Country Mouse book, this is a customer special this month, and I quite love it. There's so many good picture books to pick from. So then for the older kids, this one is one of my kids' favorite. If you see up behind my head up there, there's tons of these illustrated stories. The Aesop Fables is one of my daughter's favorites. So we read these ones lots. They're nice, short little stories, and she loves to read the moral at the end. And then my older daughter, she really likes this one, 100 Illustrated Stories. So again, we have tons. We have like Grimm's fairy tales and regular fairy tales and traditional stories and all sorts. But my daughter likes this one just because it's so big and there's 100 stories in it. Then there's the complete book of Farmyard Tales. You can buy the Farmyard Minis. If I remember where one is, I could grab it. Well, if anybody wants to see it, I'll find one after. You can buy Farmyard Tale minis in like little tiny mini books that are about the size of my hand. But this one is the complete set, and it has 20 stories in it.
And this one's smaller than a Usborne.
Okay, sit down. Everybody can see your gotchis. So this one has 20 stories in it. This is a dual reader, so the kids can read the top part that's a little bit easier, and then the adult can read the bottom part. There's a little yellow duck hiding on every page in these books, so they're super fun. This is such a great value, $27.95 for 20 stories. Then we have the Lift the Flap series. So this is the very first questions and answers book. And then this is the size difference. This would be the first questions and answers. And then here's just the regular questions and answers. So they just get bigger in size and a little bit more detailed within their answers. So this is very basic. What are stars? So it just has like all of these cool flaps that you can open. So you can learn all about what stars are. There's germs. There's a poo book, but it's out of stock right now. So here we go again. There's lots of questions. And then the answers are just pretty basic underneath. What do bees look like up close? And then it shows you.
And there's a really bad storm up there.
There's a little bit bad storm. And then the questions and answers series. We have like a whole pile of them behind me because we just love these ones so much. Which trees grew the tallest? Or grow the tallest? And then look at that. Which one is it? Do you remember? Which ones grow the tallest? Or you can have this one.
I can have.
So the questions and answers books are awesome.
These ones grow the tallest. The redwood tree.
Redwood. Okay, Miss Molly's School of Manners. Usborne does not have a lot of books about manners and behavior, but this one is one that we absolutely love. It's such a great story about this little raccoon named Algernon who has like the worst manners, and then one day he stumbles upon Miss Molly's School of Manners. And on every page he meets different teachers who teach him all sorts of different lessons about being kind and how to treat people. And the illustrations are really, really fun. My girls, all my kids like them. My son is 4 and my girls are 9 and 12, and all 3 of them like really, really love this story. So I highly recommend this one. The Big Book, there's a whole bunch in this series too. Big Book of Machines is one of Kaysen's favorites. So the pages all open up really big. And they're just packed full of different pictures of machines. And then I grabbed out a couple of activity books. We have lots of the paint with water ones. So you just dip your brush in the water and you can paint it, and it's easy and it's clean. Then we have tons of wipe clean books. So I grabbed a couple. We have like, I'd say like in excess of 60 different wipe clean books. One's for learning, one's for activities. So you just use the wipe clean marker, and then you can just wipe it clean when you're done and do it over and over again. This activity series is one of my favorites. There's space, there's holiday, there's under the sea, there's so many. It's just packed
and
full.
don't forget about the pirate one.
Yes, there's pirate. So there's counting, observation, there's mazes, there's tracing. There's just so many different fun things to do in them. My girls really love the origami stuff. So there's origami, there's fortune tellers, there's regular origami, but these new animal ones are ones that they really, really like. So if you have creative kids who are good at folding, these origami animals are great. And then my last one that I'm going to show you is this brand new Never Get Bored book. It is amazing. This is a brand new release from July, and it is just packed full of hundreds of activities to keep your kids busy anytime they say that they're bored. So there's so many. And actually we brought this on a road trip to Alberta, and it was very entertaining for even my husband and I, because we found so many things to keep us entertained reading these books. So I think that's all I'm going to show you for now. Again, I have so many other books, so if there's something else specifically that you wanted to see, just let me know and I'll dig it out for you.